You know, there were a lot of games on the Super Nintendo that I just played and I never beat. Hey, what's up, everyone? So today I'm giving you 5 Super Nintendo games that I played over and over, but I never can beat or will beat. For some, these aren't necessarily the hardest Super Nintendo games ever. They're just games I've played a lot. They're games that I keep coming back to, and they're games I've just never finished. Some I've rented, some I've owned. All of them, somehow, some way, have frustrated the hell out of me over the years. So let's get into it. All right, guys, coming in at number 5 is Super Metroid. This was one I never owned it. It was a big rental for me. And whenever I would rent it, I would sit, I would turn it on. It would be very cinematic in nature. I'd watch the opening crawl scenes, which were very ahead of its time. I'm not saying that Super Metroid isn't ahead of its time. I just never beat it. It was always one that I would turn on. I would go 3-4 hours into it, and then I would get stuck at one point from having to go back to another point. I would get confused about the storyline a little bit, and I would stop it. And then 3 to 6 months later, I'd rent it again, and the same thing would happen, to the point where over the years, I'll go back. I just tried playing it last year. Same thing happened. Got 3-4 hours into it, lost interest, and stopped playing. I'm not sure if I'll ever beat it. I would like to beat it at some point, but it's definitely been a thorn in my side over the years. So yeah, with that is Super Metroid at number 5. All right, at number 4, we got Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. I still own my copy of Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. This was can't remember if it was a birthday or Christmas present, but it was one that I had, and it was usually a Sunday boredom buster, and to this day, the same thing happens. I go in. At first, it seems really cool because you can do things like Indiana Jones. You can zip line. The graphics are pretty decent for a Super Nintendo game, but then you get into the thick of it, and it just seems overly layered. Like there's doors that you don't know where they're at. Sometimes you got to go up and down the level, and you don't even know where it's at. It makes it very frustrating at times, but there's something that just makes you want to keep playing, but then the difficulty level just spikes and spikes and spikes. So you get through those first couple of levels and you're like, hey man, I can do this. And then level 3, level 4, I don't even know if I ever got to level 5. It just kind of gets unwieldy. And then you get frustrated and you turn it off, and there's no save point on it. So shut the damn thing off. You come back a little bit later, you try again, and that's how it's always been for that game. I mean, with that being said, those first couple levels are still fun. That's why I do go back to it, because I haven't really answered that question too hard of why I go back to these games. Well, this one in particular, I go back because the graphics are good and the playability is okay. It just does get tougher and tougher, and that makes it frustrating. I honestly don't think I'll ever beat Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. I've tried many a times, but I still have the game, popping it into the Super Nintendo. It still gives me a nostalgic feeling, so who knows, maybe one day I will. So at number 4, we got Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. All right, man, at number 3, we got Sunset Riders. And Sunset Riders was a port of the arcade game of Sunset Riders, and I've beaten the arcade version of Sunset Riders. Took like $15-20 back in the day to beat it, but I did beat it. But I never beat the Super Nintendo game because you only would get so many lives. That's how a lot of the ports of beat 'em ups were, especially if they were arcade ones first, because in the arcade you obviously pumped in quarters. Well, by the time it came to the home ports, you just got lives. You got 3, 5, 7, sometimes 9 lives. Sunset Riders was just one of them. Even on easy mode, I'd get a lot of lives, and I just could never get to the end. I got close sometimes. I think I even got to the final boss at least 1 or 2 times, but never could finish through. It doesn't matter though. It's still an awesome game. You're a cowboy. You're a cowboy shooting things up, and it's very unique as far as a beat 'em up in general on not only the Super Nintendo but the arcade, and it's still a fun game. I'll still go back and play Sunset Riders now and again, and I'll still die now and again, and I still won't finish the game now and then. It's okay. Doesn't mean that it's not a good game, just the arcade port's better, but who knows, maybe one day I'll find a cheat code or something like that and get unlimited lives and finish it, but it doesn't bother me that I haven't finished it because it's a great game. So at number 3, Sunset Riders. All right, at number 2, we got Super Mario RPG. Now, this is the definition of a game that I've wanted to beat, but for some reason, I just lose interest. Like Super Metroid, I just get frustrated and I walk away. This is just one where every 5-6 years that I try to play it, I'm like, I'm going to play Super Mario RPG. Maybe this time I'll actually beat it. I get my characters up to like level 15 or level 20, and I just get bored. And I get busy and I walk away. And then suddenly it's 6 months to a year down the road. And I'm like, oh, I should go back and play Super Mario RPG and beat it. And I never do. And then 4 or 5 years down the road, I repeat the cycle. It's like the definition of a rinse and repeat game for me as far as doing something like that. It's one that I probably could beat if I just gave it the valiant effort. It's not exactly hard. And I'm not even trying to say that the RPG elements are bad. I just think the story isn't tight enough for me. I don't know. I've always wanted to play Paper Mario because I know those are the spiritual successors. Maybe I'll like them more. In fact, maybe instead of trying to ever play this again, maybe I should go to Paper Mario. But I've tried at least 4 times to beat Super Mario RPG, and every single time I get to that level 15, 20, and I just get bored and I forget about it. So I don't think I'm ever going to beat it unless there's a Blizzard weekend or something and I get incredibly tenacious, but I highly doubt it. So at number 2, Super Mario RPG. All right, at number 1, we have Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge. Now, this one was a Christmas present. This one was a game I asked for Christmas because I loved comic books and I loved the X-Men and I love Spider-Man, and I went to go play it, and man, set yourself up for disappointment if you've never played this game. This game is unrelenting. This game is hard as balls. I will never beat this game. So the backstory of this one is when I got it for Christmas, I got it, and you had to start as Spider-Man, and you had to beat one level as him before you could unlock the levels for Storm, Gambit, Wolverine, and Cyclops. And also Spider-Man got 2 more levels. Well, that first level sucked so bad that by the time I beat it, I felt like I was getting gray in the hair, and I was only 12 years old. Beat that first level, get excited. I see that each character has 2 levels. Cool, let's do this. Nope, couldn't beat any of them. Well, I can't say I couldn't beat any of them. I to this day can beat Storm's first level. If I try really hard, I think I can beat Gambit's, but I've never beat Cyclops. I've never beat Wolverine's level. And it's not without trying because they were Marvel characters. So I wanted to play the game because I liked the characters so much. But it just sucked, man. And it's one of them games that if you had it as a kid, you probably didn't have that many games. That was my dilemma. So I didn't have very many games. So the few games I had, I would just play the crap out of, even if they weren't that good. And I would try to beat them. And usually it was on a Sunday afternoon when I was bored. Was when I was trying to beat them. So many a Sundays wasted on this game. Never beat it. I never will beat it. I won't look up cheat codes to beat it. It's not a good game. It's not that I don't like it, but I know it now. It's not a good game. It's an incredibly frustrating game. But my dumbass just kept playing it over and over. And my dumbass will probably turn it on at some point and try to play it again. And my dumbass will probably not get very far. So with that is my list. So let me know what you think, guys. These are just my personal picks. It's not a list of games I hate. It's just a list of games that I have never beat. I might beat them someday. I might not. Most of these, except for maybe Spider-Man and X-Men, I don't have a problem going back and trying again. I'm just not very confident that I'll actually beat any of them in my life. So we'll see. But with that, that's all I've got. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and be on the lookout for more videos. And until next time.